Yeah, and it's something that could impact the economy. President Biden negotiated a tentative agreement. Four of the 12 unions didn't agree to that because it doesn't include paid sick leave. There are some members of the Republican Party, people like Marco Rubio, surprisingly, Senator Ted Cruz, who are saying that the workers should get those paid sick days. You know, this kind of contradicts what Republicans tend to think about unions versus management. So, can you explain to me where there are some portions of the Republican Party who are siding with unions right now?
Well, the premise of your question implies that all Republicans are anti-union, and that's just not the case at all. When you look at I negotiate union contracts all the time. We have many of them within the state of New Hampshire. We can usually find a resolution to most of the issues. A lot of the unions and the subunits within those unions can actually disagree themselves about what those tenets should be, whether it's a pay raise, whether it's sick leave, whether it's hazard pay, whether it's working hours, how the work week's going to be defined. There's a lot of things that go into these contracts. It's not just even always about pay. So again, whether it's a Republican saying that we have to find a resolution or we have to support the unions, again, it really comes down to the variables within those contracts that can be met and really should be met. So in this one in particular, it has national implications. Now, if the union is asking for things that are just unmanageable and that are unrealistic and not practical in terms of moving forward, again, you got to negotiate those things out. These are reasonable people on the other side of the table. They want to fight for the best benefits and opportunities for their employees. But at the same time, there's only so much you can give. So there's always a way to resolve it. I'll say that. Anytime you hit a situation where there's a strike, one side is just being overly difficult, frankly. And that does happen, of course, but there's always a way to find a path back to the middle, especially during these times. And you can't just say, well, Congress, you go fix it, right? The president has to get involved as well. He's the president, right? He's the CEO. That's what management does. And I don't know if this White House really understands the concept of good management, frankly, but they have to get involved at some level. President Biden, portends to be very pro-union and being able to work with folks and actually move this stuff down the road. So he is in an ideal place to be the key liaison to find a government private sector solution with the rail.